my motto, nothing's ever holding back.
Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of the Lone Road iRacers podcast. I'm your host Guy Robertson and today we're diving into some of the freshest content iRacing announced last week. I thought we'd get a bit more personal with the cars and the track. So we've got not one, not two, but 4 new spanking brand new cars to explore. The Aston Martin Vantage Evo GT3, the BMW M4 GT3 Evo, the Ford Mustang GT4 and the Dallara IL-15. And if that wasn't enough, there's also a brand new circuit to test them on. The Autódromo Hermanos Rodríguez in Mexico City. What we're going to do today is more than just talk about how these cars drive and what this track looks like. I'm going to dig into what challenges us, the iRacers, are going to face. Because let's be honest, downloading the shiny new content is the actual easy bit. The real work is learning how to tame it, how to find pace, how to race in traffic, and of course how to stop yourself from throwing away safety rating or I rating in the process. So whether you're a GT3 warrior, a budding open wheel driver, or someone who just loves trying out new circuits, this episode is packed with insights to help you hit the ground running. Let's start with the Aston Martin Vantage Evo GT3. The Aston Martin Vantage GT3 Evo is one of those cars that will become a favourite amongst GT3 fans in iRacing. It's elegant, balanced and powerful, but don't let its refined exterior fool you. This car demands precision. The Evo update has brought in subtle but significant changes. Improved aero balance, better throttle mapping and a more predictable braking feel. It has become more accessible to it will become more accessible to newer GT3 drivers while still rewarding those who can push it to its limits. The real magic of this car lies in its stability. Unlike some of its rivals, the Aston doesn't snap on you suddenly when you push it too hard. And we've all experienced that here on iRacing. The Aston Martin gives you small warning signs first, and that's what we need. That makes it a confidence builder. However, in longer stints, the Aston really tests your tyre management. It is incredibly tempting to overdrive it, but doing so can quickly put you in a tricky situation later in the race. It's also not the fastest in a straight line, meaning you've got to get creative when it comes to overtaking. For us, the iRacers, so what is the challenge of driving the Aston Martin Vantage GT3 Evo? Well, you need patience and racecraft. Because it's not the quickest on the straights, you can't just blast past competitors. You'll need to set up overtakes several corners in advance, relying on your ability to keep momentum and pressure drivers into mistakes. On top of that, the Aston will punish you if you're too aggressive also on its tyres. Your race may feel strong early on, but if you haven't paced yourself, you'll be sliding by the final laps. Well, that's got its pros and cons then for me, the Aston Martin Vantage GT3. It's not the fastest on the straights. I think most of the big tracks these are on have got long straights. So maybe the setup's going to help with that a little bit. And it doesn't sound like it's got very good tyre care as well. It's going to be a tyre killer. But that's something for us to work out and experience in the upcoming season. We're going to be back in a minute and we're going to talk about the BMW M4 GT3 Evo. For BMW fans, the BMW M4 GT3 Evo is some more good news. The BMW M4 GT3 Evo has already made waves across multiple GT3 leagues and series. Known for its powerhouse engine and monstrous traction, the Evo version is going to refine what was already a top-tier GT3 weapon. With enhanced aero efficiency and a slightly more predictable rear end, the BMW is a car that rewards both newcomers and veterans alike. The biggest advantage of the BMW is its braking stability. You can really push late into braking zones without too much fear of the rear end coming round. That makes it perfect for those side-by-side battles where every millimetre counts. It's also versatile. You can run it on a tight, technical circuit and still be competitive, or unleash its full potential on a power track. But the BMW does have its drawbacks. It's a heavy car, and that weight makes it harder to manage over long stints. You'll find it tougher on tyres compared to the Aston or even the Porsche. The front end can also feel lazy in tight corners, forcing you to adjust your driving style to rotate it effectively. The BMW is going to bring iRacers some challenges. The BMW M4 GT3 Evo challenges iRacers with corner rotation and consistency. While the car feels planted under braking, its weight though makes sharp direction changes even more difficult. At tracks with tight chicanes or slow corners, you'll need to master trail braking and throttle modulation to get the nose turned in. Over a race distance, the BMW demands restraint. Pushing it too hard early will wear out the fronts, and suddenly you'll be fighting understeer for the rest of the race. Now we're going to have another short break, then we're going to come back and talk about the Ford Mustang GT4. Switching gears to the GT4 class. The Ford Mustang GT4 is a car that blends raw muscle with surprising finesse. Unlike its heavier road-going counterpart, the GT4 is a stripped-down, track-focused racer that is equal parts fun and challenge. It's got a punchy engine, strong braking performance, and that unmistakable Mustang roar that makes it stand out in multi-class racing. The Mustang GT4 is all about momentum and rhythm. It doesn't have the high downforce or advanced electronics of GT3 cars, so you really feel every input. Mistakes are amplified. Over brake and you'll lose a pile of time, get greedy on throttle and the rear will step out. That said, it's one of the most rewarding cars to master because you can physically feel yourself getting faster as you smooth out your driving. It's going to be a favourite for close door-to-door racing. The car is predictable, meaning you can push it hard against competitors without fearing sudden instability. But the Mustang isn't the most nimble in the GT4 lineup. Cars like the Porsche Cayman can dance through technical sections while you're wrestling with weight transfer. For the iRacer, the challenge with the Ford Mustang GT4 is driving and precision. With less downforce, you need to maintain speed through corners by balancing throttle and steering input perfectly. Losing momentum in this car costs you dearly, and unlike GT3s, you don't have the raw acceleration to make up for errors. Learning how to flow through a lap consistently is what separates the strong Mustang drivers from the rest. Now we're going to talk about the new IndyCar Light, as iRacing is calling it, or the Dallara IL-15 or 15. The Dallara IL-15, also known as the IndyCar Lights car, is an absolute rocket of a machine. It sits in the sweet spot between beginner open wheel cars like the F3 and the insanity of the full IndyCar or F1 machinery. The IL-15 has huge amounts of grip, blistering acceleration, and punishes even the smallest of mistakes. Well, that's going to be great for us, the iRacers, then, isn't it? This car is built for precision. Every input, steering, braking, throttle must be deliberate and measured. The aerodynamics generate incredible downforce, but that comes at a cost, folks. Once you lose control, you're usually not getting it back. Racing side by side in this car requires nerves of steel, as turbulent air and slipstreaming makes handling incredibly unpredictable. Well, this sounds like a rocket, but a wiggly one by the sounds of it. The IL-15 is also a fitness test for your mental stamina. Over a long race, you're balancing strategy, traffic and razor-sharp concentration. Just one lapse in focus can end your race instantly. But for many, that's exactly why this car is going to be beloved. It's a test of skill at the highest level. So, is there more challenges for us, the iRacers? Let's read on. The IL-15 challenges iRacers with precision and discipline. You need to hit your braking markers within a meter. Manage aero wash in traffic and stay laser focused for the entire stint. It's a car that punishes complacency, one wheel on the grass or one fraction of a second too late on your brakes and you're in the wall. The challenge is not just driving it fast, but driving it consistently while under pressure. So, I like the sound of that new fresh challenge, the Dallara IL-15. I'm probably going to buy it in week 13 and just see how it goes. And all these new cars, just to let you know, I will be creating some new paints. So find me on Trading Paints, folks, if you're interested in getting some new liveries for these 4 brand new cars. Now, our final section today is about Autódromo Hermanos Rodríguez, the new track that's in Mexico. We're going to turn to this new venue now. This track is steeped in history and energy. Well, I don't think it's been too long on the F1 circuit, so it's probably been a hidden gem for a long while. It's known for its passionate fans and unique layout. It's a circuit that blends long straights with tight technical sections, making it a true test of adaptability for any driver. The highlight, of course, is the stadium section. Driving into that arena of grandstands is unlike anything else. You feel completely enclosed with fans on all sides, but from a driving perspective, it's a nightmare. The corners are tight, slow, and demand maximum patience. Overdrive them and you'll lose all your momentum heading into the next sector. Well, that also sounds a bit like a bottleneck to me, maybe a bit like the island complex at Long Beach. And if 1 or 2 cars have crashed, there's the mass pile-up. So that will be interesting to see how that unfolds on iRacing in the coming weeks. Meanwhile, the long straights means setup becomes a balancing act. Do you trim out your wings for top speed, or load them up for grip through a technical section? Add in the high altitude of Mexico City, which reduces engine power, and you've got a recipe for incredibly close strategic racing. So for us, the iRacers challenge at Autódromo Hermanos Rodríguez is adaptability. You'll face massive changes in rhythm across a single lap. flat out drag racing down the straights, then crawling through tight stadium corners. The altitude will affect cars' performance, especially in a GT machinery, making setups even more delicate. To succeed here, you'll need to master not just pace, but strategy, knowing when and where to push, when to defend, and how to extract speed from both the fast and slow sections. Well, that kind of sums up the 4 new cars and the brand new track that is coming to iRacing in Season 3 2024. Was it 24? 25? So we're going to wrap up this today's podcast, folks. When you look at this this week's featured lineup, the Aston Martin Vantage Evo GT3, the BMW M4 GT3 Evo, the Ford Mustang GT4, and the Dallara IL-15, and of course the new track, Autódromo Hermanos Rodríguez, one thing stands out clearly. Every single one of these choices pushes iRacers in different ways. The GT3 machines, the Aston and the BMW, are all about precision under pressure. The Aston asks you to carefully manage its responsiveness, while the BMW challenges you to remain consistent over long stints, particularly as tyre degradation sets in. The Ford Mustang GT4, though slower, is an exercise in discipline and patience. It forces you to nail your fundamentals lap after lap, teaching lessons that apply all the way up to the GT3 or even prototype cars. The Dallara IL-15 brings a different kind of thrill, not just about the outright speed, it's about mental stamina and control. With limited downforce compared to higher level open wheelers, it requires an iRacer to trust the car's mechanical grip, while still keeping a razor-sharp awareness of racecraft in tight packs. And then there's Mexico's Autódromo Hermanos Rodríguez, the binding element of this week. Its combination of blistering straights, technical stadium sections, and deceptive braking zones means it doesn't favour one driving style. Instead, it tests your adaptability. Drivers who thrive here are the ones who can shift seamlessly between high-powered bravery and low-speed precision lap after lap. If there's a unifying challenge across all these cars and this track, it's adaptability under changing conditions. GT3 drivers will have to adjust to how the Aston and BMW behave on different fuel loads and tyre wear cycles. GT4 drivers will be punished for sloppy technique, especially through Mexico's stadium section where mistakes are costly. Open wheel racers in the Dallara IL-15 will need to juggle the car's nimble yet fragile nature while mastering drafting battles on the massive front straight. At the Autódromo Hermanos Rodríguez, every mistake is magnified. Carry too much speed into the Peraltada, well, guess what? You're in the wall. Brake a fraction too late, turn 1. Yes, you ruined your run and might invite contact. The challenge for iRacers here is balancing courage with restraint. Closing thoughts then, this week's content isn't just about practicing or grinding for iRating. It's about growing as a driver. Each car, paired with Mexico's demanding new circuit, will force you to confront weaknesses, whether it's braking control, tyre management, patience, or high-speed confidence. So my advice, don't treat next week, i.e. week 13, as just another week 13. Treat it as a training ground. Tackle each car with intention. Pay attention to what the track, i.e. if you buy the new one anyway, is teaching you. You'll come out sharper, a more complete iRacer. Because at the end of the day, that's why we love iRacing. It's not just competition. It's a constant challenge to better you than you were yesterday. Well, that's the end of another year of podcasting here on the Lone Road iRacers podcast, episode 52. So we're going to look at how the season finished in the next episode, and also it's the podcast's birthday again, so we'll be reflecting on how the podcast is going, and I'm reaching out to you, the listeners and the viewers. What do you want to hear? What do you want to see more from the podcast? Please give me some feedback. It's very, very important. You'll find me on Facebook, you'll find me on Instagram, and of course you'll find me everywhere where you pick up your podcast. I'm still looking for another me to come and join me on the podcast and be a co-host, and we're always looking for guests. So, interested? The show's email is on the bottom of the notes. Please feel free to email me. Until next week, folks, happy iRacing, stay safe out there, and I'll see you on the track soon.
Whatever it takes, we're racing, we're in the zone. Whatever it takes, we push hard, never alone. I'm in the cockpit, the engines roar, hear me now. We're racing circles, got a hustle made a vow. Chasing victory, it's all or nothing on the track. Speed is my motto, nothing's ever holding back. Whatever it takes, we're racing.